Hi. As you know, I'm a crime writer, as well as a screenwriter, blogger, etc. And I just want to take a moment to talk about Sue Grafton's death. It's affected me deeply because she was truly one of my inspirations in writing the Sam McRae mystery series. In fact, the best way I can think of to honor her memory is to talk about when I met her. I did this on a blog a long time ago and would have taken a picture with her, except that I didn't have a smartphone or a camera with me. So I didn't even own a smartphone back then. So here's the story as I told it on my blog. I was at this book signing at Malice Domestic, a big annual conference that takes place every year in Bethesda, Maryland, or thereabouts. And I'm sitting at the table, and of course nobody is in line in front of my table because nobody knows me. But there are all these authors who are more famous than me who have big lines. So I'm sitting there bored looking at the lines, and I realize that one of the lines is in front of Sue Grafton's table, but she's not there yet. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to wait for Sue Grafton to show up. So sure enough, she shows up. And I was so excited just to see her in person, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this, So I mean, I'm just sitting there, nobody's coming to my table. I think maybe one person bought my book, so that was cool. But so I'm waiting for Sue Grafton to get done with her fans, and when she was done, she started to pack up, and I was like, oh no, you're not leaving without my talking to you. So so I got up from the table and made a beeline to intercept her before she could leave. And I walked right up to her and I said, oh, Sue Grafton, I'm so happy to meet you. I'm Debbie Mack. I said words, words of some sort came out of my mouth, introductory words. And I told her about how inspiring she was to me, her strong female private eye, Kinsey Milhone, and how I always thought of my own heroine, Sam McRae, as Kinsey Milhone as a lawyer. And she was looking at me, smiling, nodding, and I was just standing there clutching my book, talking about this. And finally she said, is that for me? Did you want to give that to me? Something like that. And I said, oh, yes. So I'm like, yeah, I would like to give this to you. Can we go to my table so I can sign it for you? And she said, oh, yes, of course. So I went over there and I opened up the book and I started to think, what should I say to Sue Grafton in the inscription? And I looked up at her kind of like, and she leaned over and said, you don't have to make it a love note, which I thought was hysterical. She was so nice and so funny. And I just wrote, I don't remember what I wrote now. I think I just wrote, to Sue, Debbie Mack. It was so lame. I was literally frozen at that moment. I couldn't even write nice to meet you or best wishes. I felt like such a dummy. And I only wish now that I had said something like that. And I wish I could have given her a hug, because I understand from other people that she was a very huggable person. So the series will have to end with Y, and the only other way I can show you my devotion to Sue is to show you my collection, which I will do right now. So, Sue Grafton, rest in peace. You will be missed. And you were and are an inspiration to me.